Welcome to the Mind of Business Success podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Cramer. Our guest today is Brittany Benson of the Branding Bar. We're going to talk about building your brand on social media. Welcome to the show, Brittany.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Let's start by talking about what you've got going on with the Branding Bar. Know you have you've really built yourself up to an influencer status on Instagram. And so you can speak to the importance of building your brand. Obviously, you've done it personally and professionally, and you help your clients do it as well. So let's start there and talk a bit about your business.
Yeah, so the Branding Bar, I am in Atlanta, Georgia. However, I have a team worldwide. And what I do and my team does is we help build brands online through social media management, content creation, and promotions. So that is the meat of our business. We really want to help entrepreneurs and established business owners stay consistent and have a presence online. And so we really look at people's, goals, what their strategy is, what their brand messaging is, and really helping them create content around those things so they can have, a place in the market, whatever niche they may be in.
You mentioned consistency. That is a downfall for a lot of business owners who understand they need a presence on social media, but maybe they're not creative, or that's just out of their comfort zone, or whatever the case may be. So I'm curious how you are helping your clients to bridge that gap.
Yeah, so as a social media agency, we understand that social moves really fast, right? And so if you don't have a strategy or goals in place to being in the forefront and going up against your competitors, then you're going to get pretty much lost in the sauce, right? And so we really want to make sure that we, like I said, understand your goals and creating content around those goals and making sure that constantly we're posting, whether that's 3 times a day, whatever the cadence is. We just want to make sure that you're active on social media. So when your prospective client or customer is coming to your socials, they see that you're not being stagnant and that they know that you're taking the time out and investing in your brand as well.
I'm curious, you mentioned 3 times a day. So for some people that might be shocking. Like they might think that posting once a week is sufficient. So what have you seen as sort of like the sweet spot in terms of getting content out there in front of people regularly?
Yeah, honestly, the strategy is posting at least, a couple of times a day, posting in your stories at least 3 to 5 times a day also really helps. With all of the algorithm changes, it's really kind of like, well, what is the point? No one's really engaging, but the point of the matter is like, you need to be active. And so we have a simple method that you can easily create content around. We call it the EEI method, which is engage, educate, entertain, and inspire. So every day you want to make sure that you're posting within those pillars. So you're keeping your audience engaged and you're showing like why they should choose you to purchase your product or service.
So interesting. So, so then when it comes to building a brand, you're talking about being more strategic, right? You're not just kind of throwing stuff out there for the sake of just putting things on social media. Let's talk a little bit about the value of branding.
Yeah. So the value of branding, when you hear branding, it really goes into what is the look and feel of your brand, right? Like what are your logo, your color schemes, more importantly, your brand message, right? So that's what we mean by branding. What is the feel and the vibe of someone when they come in contact with your business? How is the customer experience, right? Tailoring it to your ideal customer and always making sure when you're creating your marketing materials that you're actually on brand, right? Meaning that everything is consistent. You're not using different colors. Nothing wrong with using different colors, but for the main point is you're sticking within your brand guidelines and you're creating messaging that fit your goals.
When people are trying to build out this strategy, I assume that's something that you help your clients with.
Yes.
But is there maybe like a couple of important points that you can share with our listeners who are just contemplating this for maybe the first time?
Yeah. So when you want to think about strategy, you want to think about, like I said, what your goals are. Like if you're just launching, and not even just launching, but as an entrepreneur, business owner, you're always going to be at the top of the funnel, marketing funnel, which is brand awareness, right? And so you're going to be thinking about creating marketing around why someone would choose you. What is your value proposition, right? And so that is really what you need to think about when it comes to your strategy, right? How can I service someone? What are the benefits? Why should someone choose me over, my competitors? And so your strategy is going to change over time. You're going to always be at the brand awareness phase that I just spoke about. But then maybe you also need to have a strategy when it comes to maybe you have a sale coming up, right? What is the strategy as far as that? What type of content are you creating around that particular strategy to meet, sales goals, right? If I have a sale coming up and I want to create content to get people engaged and aware of my sale, that content is going to look different than the content than when I'm launching, right? So you want to think about your goals, but you want to think about the strategy as it pertains to each goal and what type of content you're going to create around all of those things.
Awesome. Now let's shift gears just a little bit because I want to talk to you as the business owner. And you've got your own, your own personal journey. We all do. One of the things that I think is so important to talk about, and I love to ask my guests this question, is about your own mindset journey, because we don't just arrive in our business without obstacles, right? Without
Right.
mindset issues. So are you willing to share with us maybe one mindset obstacle that you've had to overcome in your own business in order to get to where you are today?
Yeah, just, the mindset of like really being confident in what I have to offer. I think that a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, we kind of get in our head and we think that everything needs to be perfect before we launch, right? But the key thing is like 99% of the time, people that you're worried about that may be looking at you, they're not even your ideal customer. You're worried about what your friends or your family might think about what you're doing. But at the end of the day, those aren't your people, right? Some of them can be, but you want to just go ahead and do it, right? Just go ahead and put yourself out there. Go ahead. For me, I'm like, God wouldn't give me this vision if he wasn't going to give me the resources and things that I needed to fulfill it, right? And so just having confidence in what it is that I'm trying to do or doing, and, letting all the negative thoughts just kind of, go in the wind. The way that our brains are wired is really weird. We automatically go to the negative thoughts and we really tell ourselves like, oh, I'm not ready. And we hold on to it and you trick yourself into believing that. But like, you just have to get over that obstacle of not worrying about what people have to say and just doing what you need to be doing.
So that seems to be a theme, because I just recorded another interview right before yours, and she said the same thing about don't worry about what other people think of you. Now, you took it a step further because you said something so brilliant, which is that most of the people you're so concerned about are not even your ideal client or customer.
Right.
How many people out there, probably you probably experience this with quite a few of your clients, that they're
Yeah.
so damn worried about what everyone else is thinking, and
Yeah.
that holds them back.
Yeah, absolutely. I just feel like, one of the main things that I tell my audience is like, they're so afraid to go live. Like, oh my gosh, like what's going to happen? I'm like, you're leaving so much opportunity on the table because you are afraid to put yourself out there and go live. If people don't want to see you live, they're not going to click on your live. But the people that want to see you live, they're going to click on your live and they're going to stay there and they're going to want to hear what you have to say. So you're doing it for those people, right? So yeah.
So good. So good. I'm, I'm in my early 40s and I'll still break out sometimes. It is not easy to get myself on camera if I have a pimple on my forehead, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. And I think sometimes we just need to remember that we're human and it's okay. And even if someone does judge you for that, they're kind of an asshole. So don't worry so much about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're all trying to figure it out, like I literally just had a post where it was like, we're all trying to figure it out. I mean, think about how long humanity has been in existence, right? Think about how long entrepreneurship has been in existence. Yes, we see success stories, but at the end of the day, all of those people, we all start from the bottom. When you're building a brand, everybody is starting on the same playing field, right? The process is all the same. At some point, you're going to have to go against the grain and put yourself out of your comfort zone to just see what happens. I don't want to ever live a life of regret. I don't ever want to get to when I'm 80, 90 years old and being like, dang, I should have did more videos. I should have went live more, because you never know who can be tapping into your podcast, who can be listening to your podcast that can help you, right? Some people, I always say, may not be a customer, but they can be a cheerleader, right? They can advocate for you. And so no one's ever going to know unless you put yourself out there.
Now, you have a pretty big Instagram following. And I'm just curious, what does it take to actually create something like that?
Yeah, well, thank you. It's taken me about 7 years to get to the following that I have. And honestly, my strategy around my social media was really just out of a pain point for me when I was starting out as an entrepreneur. Like, I just needed motivation. I just needed someone to kind of throughout the day give me motivation that I could relate to. And so that really was my strategy. I operated off of just posting inspirational quotes. And honestly, like, people, they relate. So I feel as though, like, just by doing that, people were sharing my content. People needed that. My tribe, I call them my tribe, the people that started to follow me, we all were in the same, vibration of needing help. And so I think that's what really kind of spun the growth, and being authentic. And so, yeah, I think you just need to be authentic. And, obviously, like I said, we all start from 0 followers, and over time, your tribe is going to find you.
I love that. I am new to Instagram. I'm like an Instagram newbie. I totally, I totally avoided it for years. It was like Instagram. And I was like, no, that's all right. But I have to say that I love the engagement. So now that I am on Instagram, I actually really like it. And I do think that it is a valuable marketing resource as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Instagram is just kind of one of those, necessary evils, like you're going to have to pick your poison, whether you're on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. Like, you just got to figure out the space that you want to be in and just go ahead and take full reins. Like, I built brands before I got on Instagram, and I understood the importance of community. And so I was like, you know what, when Instagram came out, I said, this is the platform that I'm going to build my community on. And of course, having a social media agency, I had to have social proof, right? I had to have proof in what I'm saying that I can do for you to hire me. So I was my first client.
I love it. Well, now is a perfect segue for us to share with listeners how they can connect with you. So can you share your Instagram handle and any other ways that our listeners can learn more about what you're offering?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am at the Branding Bar across all socials. You can reach me and my team directly at www.thebrandingbar.com, where we showcase, our services, how we can help you. And so that's how you can reach us.
Love it. Any final parting thoughts that you have for us?
Like I said, everybody starts from the bottom. Right? Everybody is starting out trying to figure out that thing that you want to do, whether you're a service-based business, or B2C business. It's all about just starting. I have conversations with people that just launched. I had a conversation with a girl that just launched like in May, and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And it's like, girlfriend, you ain't even been in this a minute, so it's just being patient with yourself and just trusting the process, because at the end of the day, when you think about success stories, we love to see a brand or a person see how they can, in a split, you think in a split of a second, they've just become this great business. But when you go back in time, you can see this person, they've been posting since 2018, right? They've been posting, or, if you're in entertainment, you're an actress, you've been doing side gigs. Like, people can go back in time and see the work that you've been putting in. And for me, that's a lot more collateral, right? To like, when I do get to this success, that you can see that this wasn't an overnight thing. So I would just say, anybody starting something, even if you're not getting the traction, likes, comments, keep it going. Because when you never know when that can turn in your favor, and then you have the proof, like, look, I've been sticking at it and it's worked.
Excellent way to end this segment. I want to thank you so much, Brittany, for being with us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
And of course, we've got to thank all of our listeners. We're doing this for you. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do so. And until next time, we will see you in the next episode.